Hello, this is Doreen Young with audioPERK. I am here with Arrow Mueller from Mnuchin Gallery with a very important exhibit in memoriam of Ed Clark. I just found out about this, losing Ed Clark, when I saw your title cards here, and I almost cried with you. I wanted to thank you for letting me talk with you, and just wanted to get your thoughts on this exhibit and how you feel about it working with this gallery.
Well, you're welcome, and thanks for bringing his work also to light as we're trying to do. We really started working with Ed Clark by the partner of the gallery, Sukanya Rajaman, brought him. And we did an exhibition that was a survey of his work.
Can we kind of like stroll a little bit while we talk,
sure.
if you don't mind?
And so she brought this to our attention, and we exhibited in last winter, fall, 2018. We did a bit of retrospective, and a lot of paintings hadn't been seen since the early 70s, and so
I haven't seen
we unrolled them, and
these.
And in our exhibition of a year ago, there were some very large monumental works, one of which was placed in the Nelson Atkins Museum's collection, and so it was.
That's in Kansas City.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it was a really great opportunity to kind of to begin looking at his work. Towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we've been having artwork come in periodically, and we really believe in showing artwork from people who are underrepresented, and looking back in history and seeing, this artist is did fantastic artwork, right?
That's important.
And
that's a trend going on now. People are talking about that.
That's right.
These works to light.
That's right.
That some of us really know, but others totally do not.
That's right. And because I think it's safe to do that regardless, whether someone's overlooked because of their race or their gender. I think people get overlooked in history, and so it's always good to look back 30, 40 years and see what did we miss and what held up and what didn't hold up, and that's something that the market does do, but it's also something that curators and academics do, and right now we're at a time where we're also not only looking back at quality artwork, but we're also looking back at people who were underrepresented because of their race or their gender, and so as a lot of those people were overlooked during their careers for those very specific reasons. So
I like the fact that Mr. Clark was always very involved when he was around. I mean, he was always willing to kind of hang out and be present and participate. Even though some artists of his stature chose not to really participate in the gallery system, quote unquote, but yet I think that a man like him, he kind of had both a foot in both sides, like in a way he was not wanting to be a part of the mainstream in a kind of a commercial way in a sense, but at the same time when there were opportunities for his work to be seen and for people to talk about it and for new audiences to be introduced to it, he would come around and be there, and I would see him around. I think this is a really good collection of work that you're showing here, actually.
There are a couple different pieces, different I want to say series that he's worked on here, but each and every one of them has his iconic, just simple brushstrokes and his working the canvas and the abstraction of just a color and a lot of movement of the paint. We also have a painting from 1962, which is pretty early for him for his abstract
Can you show me
paintings.
That, please? This one?
Yeah, this is the middle one, which you can see it's much more painted in a way with and poured.
Yes.
And I think that's more evocative of him coming out of the abstract expressionist period in the 1950s.
Yes.
And what he was looking at and interested in at that time.
This is
the
wonderful.
works flanking it are later works and more iconic in how we think of his style, his unique style that he evolved into.
Isn't it interesting? Like, I was looking at the work, the substantive simplicity of it. I guess that's the way I would describe it. And thought about Alma Thomas.
Yes.
And then turned around and saw that.
That's right.
And said, "Oh wow," And I love the way those artists from that generation could make something very simple, very complex, and very deep at the same time. Not just we have had conversations about accidental things, but these were very deliberate and beautiful things, but yet simple, and really allows the user to start to delve into the abstract and into the non-literal world.
Yeah,
don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's a nice bridge to
It
get
is.
you into that world.
It's. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're both artists who were really just interested in color and making something beautiful. They're not full of pretension, not full of theory. They just kind of wanted to put some paint on a brush and play with that, and they had an inner voice that they needed to communicate that way.
Right. How does it make you feel being around these works and kind of studying them a bit as you just spend time with them?
Well, it's great. I mean, it's one of the nice things about working in the art world. Working in an art gallery is when I go to work, I get to be around fabulous artwork.
Does it make you think of anything in particular? Does it make you ponder any particular elements of today's world as you look at them? Or I guess in your own life, because I know most of you guys, most people who work in these professional settings are, as arts professionals, have often painted themselves in the past or explored making art, creating art.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're always thinking and looking, and when new things come your way, it makes you think and look a little differently. And so to see something new is always welcome. I don't know how else to put that.
I guess it's organic. One of the things I think of here, just in general, is just what's underneath. The depth. I think depth when I look at the work.
It's got a real push-pull. Having all this color just kind of be seemingly accidental. Peer through. I mean, it's not intentional. These gestures, but he sets it up. He knows, I think, what he wants to work with, and then he makes this gesture occur, and then lots of magic happens.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to commend your gallery on the way you have the work exhibited. I think it's dignified, and I just like the way it's settled, because it's not sad. It's the blue to me is still, where I'm blue, knowing when I've heard about that, but yet the color. The colors together, the life is here.
Yeah, so it's very respectful. It's not somber.
It's not somber, and it's showing that the works live on. So thank you for this opportunity to talk with you and to see the work again.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
It was really nice meeting you too.